contest between Hu Yong and Huyixibai. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go the global rule set on this one. It's 3 5-minute rounds, bout judged in its entirety, not round by round. No kicks to the head of a grounded opponent, no spiking or suplexing on the head, neck, or spine. In the red corner is Hu Yong in the red, white, and blue trunks, and in the blue corner is Huyixibai.
Judge, time, ready, go!
Huyixibai coming out in the blue corner in the white trunks is a wrestler with a very good stand-up game, and Hu Yong comes to us out of the Fighting Brothers Club and is extremely well-versed in Sanda.
All right, so a little bit of feeling out action here. Some leg kicks coming from Hui early on. Ooh, and already going for a head kick.
I like the way he's going for that left high kick. There's no setup, but a big right hand.
And Hu is on him.
Hu Yong is dropping the bombs down on.
Hui trying to get his marbles back a little bit here. That definitely rattled the cage.
Huyixibai is trying to get his wits about him, as Misha said there.
And well recovered.
He ate a huge flurry of shots, but he gets right back on top to secure the mount position. Hu's got to work back up to his feet. Hui takes the back, locks in the body triangle.
That's a great technique to just put so much pressure on the diaphragm. It makes it hard to breathe, and it's really difficult to change position from there for the person who's in that body triangle. And you see Hui chipping away at Hu with those little punches, but really, Mitch, those are just distractions because he wants to choke here. He's looking for a submission, whether it be an armbar or a choke. He's trying to create distraction. Here you see him feeding under the neck here.
He's a little bit too high there on the back, though. He's kind of reaching down to sink in that choke.
Yeah, great point, Mitch. You know, that's because the body triangle there kind of allows you to stay a little bit higher on the body. Perhaps if he were to sink down a little bit, he'd have a little bit more real estate with those arms to actually get down under the chin.
Would he give up the body triangle to get the choke, or is he just okay to just eat up the clock and beat him up here?
I mean, it's really athlete preference, to be honest. He's just riding a little bit higher because of the body triangle. And once you lock that in, you don't really slide. As you know, Mitch, you don't really move around much, so he just happens to have it a little bit higher on the waist, making that rear naked choke a little bit more difficult, but doing a great job of softening up the body, softening up the action.
See, he's trying to get in tight. He's trying to, like you said, he's distracting by going to the body, and then he's trying to work his way up to the choke. He chooses to abandon the body triangle. Again, looking to sit into mount, but you know, you can see Hu trying to scramble, trying to create a little bit of movement, but Hui is all over him.
You see, once that body triangle is locked, he's just stuck in that position, which he's obviously very comfortable in. It's definitely not a bad thing, but there's just not much movement. Now, what Hu needs to do is get that locked up side down to the mat where he can start to use his lower body to loosen that. And see, as soon as the body triangle opened up, well, we have some movement.
Huyixibai created, he almost opened it up for him as Hu spun around, ended up in guard. Now we get to see the handiwork here again of Hu. Look for that right hand. That's what did the damage in that first minute.
Good left by Hui. Spinning attacks. Now Hu is just really lunging forward because he had so much success in that first exchange, but he's got to be careful doing that because if Hui's able to get underneath it, he's going to get that takedown again.
Hu Yong's got a beautifully timed right hand, but now we're starting to see again, he threw it again as he caught the leg kick there.
Nice and a good uppercut. What a nice three-piece, Mitch.
Yeah, with a side of fries and a drink. Beautifully touched up the face there of Huyixibai. Nice little timing there as he evaded the spin kick to come back with a left hand. Hu's got some serious talent on his feet. Looks like he opened him up there with one of those punches.
Yeah, I'm going to take a quick look at Hui to just make sure that he is safe to continue. Always worried about athlete safety first here at One Hero Series.
Yong is definitely pumped up, trying to get himself back into this after he spent about 3 minutes on the ground getting outworked. Looks like he's had a little bit of a cut on Huishibai's, I think it was right eye, possibly from the left hand thrown by Hu Yong. Interesting first round, tough to score. Should I put Misha Tate on the spot?
Oh, I really hate having to score these sometimes because you're just thinking like, you don't really, I mean, it depends what angle you look at it, Mitch. I mean, there was some great action on the feet. There's great action on the ground as well. I mean, I think if we have to score monumental moments, it's been close on the feet. I think there's been some good exchanges from both, but I think Hui is running away with this so far, but there's a lot of time on the clock. So I hate to really put too much weight on it so early in the bout.
Looks like Huyixibai is good to continue as they wipe him off. But with a cut right there, and that's a very precarious position. It's going to flow down into the eye. It's going to affect his sight, so he's got to have a little bit of urgency here. Nice jab landed by Hu Yong.
That's one thing I never had happen in a bout. I was never cut before, so I don't know how distracting it can be. Mitch, have you?
Really? You've never been cut?
I've never been cut.
Look at my eyes. I'm filled with scar tissue and...
So tell me then, if you wipe your face and you're like, oh, I'm bleeding, does that factor in, or you just kind of?
It does.
Yeah.
It really does, and it also affects your opponent too. He sees that red. It's like a shark in the water. You hunt after it. Good first round from both these guys. Let's break down some of the action we saw in the first round.
It's a replay of a big right hand. That one wobbled Hui, and another big right hand to land. As you see, ground and pound followed up there as well. Nice leg kick by Hu. Caught though by Hu, and again he's trying to follow up with those great strikes that he found so much success with in the early part of the round.
Yeah, Hu Yong on the feet is doing damage with that big right hand, but then when things hit the ground, Huyixibai is all over it, controlling the back, so it's going to come down to who has the better strategy. In the corner right now, Hu Yong, what are you telling him?
I would tell him to find a home for the jab first and be a little bit patient. Maybe come with that onslaught of striking after you've stuffed the initial shot. You know, just to not get overzealous with it, not get carried away and give up your hips and get taken down.
Go!
How does Huyixibai deal with that? How does he get the takedown? How does he get close enough to get that?
Well, here you see he's got great head movement. That's one thing, getting inside that, trying to dodge the jab hand, and just a matter of timing, really. Oh, you see a little bit of taunting from Hu, saying, yeah, give me a little more. I'm all right, I can take that. So that usually means it hurts, though, huh, Mitch?
That's usually what it does. It lets him know you got it. You can see the reddening start to develop there on the left leg there as Hu Yong looks to get on top.
Wow, I think that was a mental switch for Hu when he started to taunt him a little bit with that leg kick. You know, it's just, he turned a mental switch that, hey, I'm here, come at me, and you'll see what you're going to get. We're definitely seeing more pressure.
What we see from Hu Yong is, like, in the breaks, in those gaps between the striking exchanges, he creates those openings and he finds those little holes. Huyixibai is trying to take control of the center ring, and he lands a nice little overhand right there. Hui's doing a good job of getting in and out at the moment. He's landed 2 solid punches and then evaded the follow-up shots by Hu Yong. Those leg kicks, it's not something we've been focusing on too much, but
if he keeps landing those, I mean, you know, Mitch, how that can really slow the forward pressure and forward pace, shooting ability of Huyi.
That's what I'd like to see him do more of, because Hu Yong's got really good lateral movement. He's constantly putting pressure. If Huyixibai can start to touch up that leg and really start to dig into it. Right now, he's kind of leaning back when he throws the leg kick to avoid the right hand, the counter from Hu Yong. So if he kind of digs in a little bit more, sinks his weight into that leg kick, it's going to start to have a little bit more power to it, and he can start to connect with the shin.
As you can see right there, you see the reddening just around the corner of the leg, around the back side. And it'll start to pool with blood a little bit there. It starts to stiffen up, and it just makes it essentially harder to move with the speed and accuracy that we've been seeing from Hu Yong so far.
Ready, go!
So this is the third time we have seen Hu Yong with good reason, because that right hand is something beautiful. Right now he is 2-0. He is undefeated in one Hero Series. And Huyixibai is trying to stop the rolling of Hu Yong.
Yeah, it could be, you know, winning a third bout on one Hero Series. That makes a pretty strong case for a slot on the One Championship roster, wouldn't you say, Mitch?
Yeah, you know, he gets to join the ranks of, you know, Hansa Hao, the current strawweight queen, you know, Zhong Jingna. So we definitely are, you know, have a lot of room on this packed One Championship roster for high-level talent like Hu Yong.
Got to be careful here, though. And wow, what a great job defending these. Good quick knee by Hui.
Great balance from Huyixibai. He is a veteran. He have a record of 11-3, so he's definitely got a lot of experience. While Hu Yong's just 4-1, so he's going to try to lean on that experience and take Hu Yong into those later parts of the third round.
Hu Yong has such good lateral movement. It's like he plants here, but then he moves left and right. So good. Oh, and that was a vicious uppercut, just barely missing. Hu Yong's obviously looking to time that uppercut, though, as Huyi clearly probably wants to shoot again at some point in this.
But you can see it's a good weapon to choose to use, because
there he just landed it.
He leans forward. He really commits by tucking his chin in and dropping that head down as he gets a double leg.
That was a great wrestling exchange. Lots of hip transitions here. Huyi does find his way into the half guard position. Probably taking a moment here to catch his breath. That was quite a bit of energy expend, but does not want to sit idle for too long, because Hu Yong has a lot left to offer. Looking to probably get back to his feet if there's any release of pressure.
This is what Hu Yong needed to do, or sorry, Huyixibai needed to do. He needed to slow down that striking of Hu Yong and really start to wear on Hu Yong, because Hu Yong was starting to touch him up and run away with this one. But now, you know, Huyixibai is starting to show that veteran experience that he's got.
So he did get him down, but he hasn't been able to do a whole lot with it. And this is where these scorecards, where it gets interesting, because you wonder, you know, how much the position versus the striking and all that will actually come into play.
Good scrambling there from Hu Yong. Now we do score.
And a big right hand to exit that exchange there.
You can see him again. He's trying with that uppercut. He times that thing right as Huyixibai is starting to lean forward. We're starting to see that cut really start to open up, and that is damage. That is our highest scoring category. You know, striking superiority and ground control, that's kind of like, those are equal things in our scoring criteria. But then you get into the damage category, superficial damage, eternal damage, and that's when the scoring starts to mount up. And that's that beautiful right hand again landed by Hu Yong.
And once again there, that's definitely finding a home and leaving some damage for Hui to wear in this bout.
Now, Misha Tate, I know we're not judges, we just pretend to be them on TV, but how do you have this match so far?
You know, at this point, I think I'm going to say that Hu Yong is is running away with this. I think that those exchanges on the feet, the damage that he's been able to inflict, and you know, he just looks so polished. He looks so good on the feet, and he shut down most of those takedowns. I know that Hui did get a takedown in that round, but I just think that he wasn't able to do enough with it to sway my opinion of how this bout is going so far.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the opinion of the world champion, Miesha Tate. And if you don't know who this young lady is, you have got to Google her because her matches are something special. And we are underway in the third and final round of this flyweight tilt between two very hungry Chinese prospects out here in One Hero Series as Huyixibai tries to go for a double leg, but it's stopped again by Hu Yong.
Hu Yong is finding his timing, he's finding his range, and you see he's finding that home for that jab. He doesn't, he's not rushing forward too much. He rushes forward for like a couple steps, and then he pauses just to make sure he can catch the takedown, successfully defend it, then he goes back to striking. It's a work of art. It's beautiful.
Huyixibai still got that pressure. He's still controlling the center of the ring, but Hu Yong is just touching him up at every opportunity he gets.
Yeah, it was a good quick knee by Hui. Good shot. Again, well defended.
The hips of Hu Yong. Beautiful timing on that sprawl because it looked like it was academic. Huyixibai was nice and deep. He had his hands locked.
Yeah, he didn't just sprawl though. I mean, he really inverted his hips to stop any forward pressure of Hui. And then from there, successfully dug those underhooks, got a good break. And now looking to implement this flawlessly timed striking.
I like the spins to the overhand right, but then he missed that, and then he came back again with a nice little right to slip through the guard. As these guys are starting to get a little bit wild here in the third and final round.
Both these guys want this so bad. This is one of those matches, Mitch, where I hate to qualify anyone as a loser because they are going at it, and they really understand what's on the line here, what opportunity it needs to win here tonight.
Especially with Hu Yong, who's so close. He's already 2-0. You know, if Huyixibai gets a victory over Hu Yong, that's a huge stepping stone for him.
And he does get the takedown here. I would think he should have a sense of urgency.
Yeah, he's got to do something with this. I don't know if he's got enough, you know, scoring in his back pocket to really put forth. He just kind of grinds out of this, you know, decision here. He needs a victory. He needs a big emphatic submission, or at least do some big damage. Good job by Hu Yong to elevate the hips to create the scramble.
Digging underhooks here. Good job to bring this back to the standing position by Hu Yong. He's definitely looking to disengage. Hui trying to hang on. Hui doesn't want any space here. He wants to get this back to the ground.
Yeah, that's his best opportunity. I mean, it is, you know, mixed martial arts, and it is a box of chocolates, and anything can happen. Ain't that right, Miesha Tate? But right now, if it goes to the judges' scorecards, Hu Yong might be running away with it. Looks like he got poked in the eye. Got to be careful. Defend yourself at all times.
That is true. You cannot look to the referee and say, hey, save me. You know, good job on Hui's part, though, to not stop in that situation. I mean, you absolutely should not until the referee tells you to do so. Mistake by Hu Yong to say, referee, step in.
Yeah, that's hard to keep that, you know, that instinct alive to keep pushing forward when your opponent raises your hand. If your opponent raises your hand, you're like, oh, okay, what's wrong? Good killer instinct shown by Huyixibai to keep that pressure on him.
He was definitely able to get some of the best strikes off in the round.
Yeah.
Right there in that exchange.
Let's not bring that up.
Had Hu Yong just kind of moving off the under.
But this definitely, I think this could be, as he lands a nice little left hand there. These guys are exchanging.
You hear that? The impact.
Oh, big slam there. Now you got to be careful. You are not allowed to suplex on the head, neck, or spine. And Huyixibai took Hu Yong for the ride as he planted him with a beautiful belly-to-back suplex. But you can't do that.
Not allowed. Well, that's unfortunate because that was pretty cool, but we definitely don't want to do anything that's illegal or dangerous. So that's unfortunate. Do you think he would have had that submission, Mitch? It looked like he was under the neck there. But you got to play by the rules.
No suplexing on the head, neck, or spine. And athlete safety is our #1 priority as Hu Yong got dumped on his head. There's one championship referee, Olivier Coste, making sure Hu Yong is okay. Hu Yong. So if the match, you can see it right here, slips around to the back, and here we go.
Goes for a big ride, and that does. He tries to rotate through, though. It kind of lands on the shoulder there from the angle that I can see. Maybe we get this from another angle here.
This might be a better angle.
You know, Hui did try to rotate through. See, watch the rotation change. He tried to change here. He didn't try to slam
the
him.
Rope.
Just out of view, that's a little bit difficult to say.
Oh, it looks like
this may be a red card, Mitch.
The red card comes out of the pocket. Huyixibai has been disqualified for an illegal technique of a suplex to the head of Hu Yong.
That's so unfortunate.
It is illegal to suplex on the head, neck, or spine. A fighter's athlete safety is our #1 priority, and Huyixibai gets disqualified in a very entertaining matchup, and Hu Yong remains undefeated here in One Hero Series, extending his record to 5-1, as I believe referee Kemp Chang is going to make an official decision here. As
nobody wants to win like that,
yeah,
though.
That's
so
not the way
unfortunate.
You want to win, especially after such a match.
I almost forgot that was.
Here we go! It's 10 Beatrix versus Alma Junagu for the Dynamite Muay Thai World title.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are halfway through our stacked card here in One Hero Series, but don't go anywhere because we've got some incredible matchups, including the last match of the night against